What if I told you that retiring sooner rather than later could be one of the best decisions you ever make? It might sound counterintuitive after all. Many of us have been conditioned to think that working longer is the key to financial security and personal fulfillment. But what if stepping away from the daily grind earlier opens up a world of opportunities you didn't even realize were waiting for you? Hi there. If you're tuning in today, chances are you've either started thinking about retirement or are already knee-deep in planning it. Maybe you're wondering whether you should keep pushing through your current job for a few more years or take the leap now and enjoy the freedom that comes with leaving work behind. Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into 5 compelling reasons why retiring as soon as you can might just be the smartest move you'll ever make. But before we jump in, let's get one thing straight. Retirement doesn't mean sitting around doing nothing unless that's what you want. Instead, it's about reclaiming your time, pursuing passions, and living life on your own terms. So, whether you dream of traveling the world, spending more time with loved ones, or finally tackling that hobby you've put off for decades, this video will show you why sooner might be better than later. Let's start with the first reason: health. Now, here's the reality. Our bodies change as we age. While some people remain active and energetic well into their 70s and beyond, others face health challenges that can limit what they're able to do. The earlier you retire, the more likely you are to have the energy and mobility to fully enjoy this next chapter of your life. Think about it, wouldn't you rather spend your days hiking, gardening, or playing with grandkids while you still feel strong and capable? Studies consistently show that chronic stress from long-term employment can take a toll on both physical and mental health. High-stress jobs, in particular, have been linked to conditions like heart disease, hypertension, and even cognitive decline. By retiring early, you give yourself the chance to step away from those pressures and focus on nurturing your well-being. This could mean adopting healthier habits, like exercising regularly, cooking nutritious meals, or simply getting enough sleep, all things that are easier to prioritize when you're not juggling a demanding schedule. And let's not forget the mental health benefits. Work can be fulfilling, but it can also be exhausting. Constant deadlines, office politics, and the pressure to perform can leave you feeling drained. Retiring gives you the space to recharge, reflect, and rediscover what truly brings you joy. Many retirees report feeling happier and less anxious after leaving their jobs because they finally have time to focus on themselves and the things that matter most. Now, let's move on to our second reason: time. Time is one of the most precious resources we have, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. That's why delaying retirement could mean missing out on valuable years that could otherwise be spent doing the things you love. Life is unpredictable, and none of us knows exactly how much time we have left. Why wait until someday to pursue your dreams when someday could be today? Imagine waking up each morning knowing your day is entirely yours to shape. No alarms blaring at 6 a.m., no rush hour commutes, no meetings filling up your calendar. Instead, you can spend your mornings sipping coffee on the porch, exploring new hobbies, or volunteering for causes close to your heart. These are the kinds of moments that make life rich and meaningful, but they require time to happen. Retiring early also gives you the flexibility to adapt to unforeseen changes. Let's say you decide to stay in your job for another 5 years, only to find that your health declines unexpectedly or a family member needs your support. Suddenly, those plans you had for travel or relaxation may have to take a backseat. On the other hand, if you retire earlier, you'll have more control over how you navigate these twists and turns. Another aspect of time worth considering is the ability to deepen relationships. How often have you thought, "I wish I had more time to spend with my kids," or "I'd love to visit old friends I haven't seen in years"? Retirement gives you the bandwidth to nurture those connections without the constraints of a 9-to-5 schedule. Whether it's planning regular family dinners, taking trips with loved ones, or reconnecting with old pals, having the gift of time allows you to build memories that last a lifetime. Now that we've covered health and time, let's talk about our third reason: financial independence. Wait a minute, you might be thinking, isn't retiring early risky financially? And yes, it's true that financial planning is crucial. But here's the thing: with careful preparation, retiring early doesn't have to mean sacrificing stability. In fact, many people discover that living within their means during retirement can actually reduce financial stress compared to maintaining a high-cost lifestyle while working. For example, consider the concept of downshifting. When you retire, you may no longer need to spend money on commuting, professional attire, eating out during lunch breaks, or other expenses tied to full-time work. This reduction in costs can free up funds to cover essentials and even indulge in occasional luxuries. Plus, if you've saved wisely through pensions, investments, or social security, you may find that your income stretches further than you anticipated. Additionally, retiring early gives you the opportunity to supplement your finances in creative ways. Some retirees choose to monetize hobbies like photography, woodworking, or crafting. Others explore part-time gigs such as consulting, tutoring, or freelancing, which allow them to earn extra cash while maintaining flexibility. These options not only provide additional income, but also keep you engaged and fulfilled in your post-work life. Now that we've explored health, time, and financial independence, let's transition to our next reason: rediscovering purpose. Contrary to popular belief, retirement doesn't mean losing your sense of identity, it's an invitation to redefine it. We'll dive deeper into how stepping away from traditional work allows you to explore passions, contribute to your community, and create a legacy that reflects who you truly are. Stick around, we're just getting started. All right, let's pick up where we left off. So far, we've covered 3 powerful reasons to retire early: prioritizing your health, reclaiming your time, and achieving financial independence. These are all fantastic motivators, but let's dive deeper into something that might surprise you: rediscovering purpose. You see, for many of us, our careers become a huge part of our identity. We spend decades defining ourselves by what we do for a living, whether it's being a teacher, engineer, nurse, or entrepreneur. But when you retire, you're no longer tied to that label, and while that freedom can feel exhilarating, it can also leave some people wondering, who am I now? That's where rediscovering purpose comes in. Retirement offers an incredible opportunity to redefine what gives your life meaning. Without the structure of a traditional job, you have the space to explore passions you may have set aside years ago, or even discover new ones. For example, maybe you've always dreamed of writing a memoir, learning to paint, or starting a small business based on a hobby you love. Retirement gives you the gift of time to finally bring those dreams to life. And here's the best part: purpose doesn't have to look like climbing the corporate ladder or hitting performance metrics. It can be as simple as mentoring young people, volunteering at a local shelter, or teaching a skill you've mastered over the years. Many retirees find immense fulfillment in giving back to their communities or passing along wisdom to the next generation. Whether it's tutoring kids in math, leading workshops, or simply sharing stories with grandchildren, these acts of service remind you that your contributions still matter and they create a lasting impact. Let me share a quick story to illustrate this point. Meet Robert, a retired accountant who spent 40 years crunching numbers in a cubicle. At first, he worried that leaving his job would leave him feeling unfulfilled. But after retiring, he discovered a passion for woodworking, a hobby he hadn't touched since college. Not only did he start crafting beautiful furniture pieces for his family, but he also began teaching classes at a community center. Today, Robert says he feels more fulfilled than ever because he's using his skills to inspire others. Stories like Robert's remind us that purpose evolves over time. What drives you at 30 might not be the same thing that excites you at 65, and that's okay. Retirement allows you to pivot, experiment, and uncover new ways to make your mark on the world. Now, let's move on to our fourth reason: freedom from stress. If you've ever felt trapped in the endless cycle of deadlines, meetings, and expectations, you know how draining workplace stress can be. Even if you enjoy your job, the constant pressure to perform can take a toll on your mental and emotional well-being. Retiring early gives you the chance to step away from that environment and embrace a slower, more peaceful pace of life. Imagine waking up without the weight of unfinished projects hanging over your head. No more rushing to meet quotas or dealing with difficult coworkers. Instead, your days are filled with activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Whether it's reading a book in the park, practicing yoga, or simply enjoying quiet mornings, retirement lets you focus on what truly matters to you, not what someone else expects of you. Of course, stress isn't limited to the workplace. Life itself has its challenges, and retirement won't magically eliminate them. However, stepping away from the daily grind reduces one major source of anxiety, giving you more bandwidth to handle whatever comes your way. Plus, with fewer obligations pulling at your time, you can prioritize self-care practices like meditation, exercise, and spending time in nature, all of which help manage stress levels and improve overall well-being. Now, let's transition to our final reason: creating memories. One of the most beautiful aspects of retiring early is the ability to savor life's moments before it's too late. Think about the people and experiences that mean the most to you. Is it watching your grandchild take their first steps? Exploring exotic destinations with your partner? Attending milestone events like weddings, graduations, or family reunions? These are the kinds of memories that make life rich and meaningful, but they require presence. When you're tied to a full-time job, it's easy to miss out on these special occasions. Work trips, busy schedules, and sheer exhaustion can keep you from being fully present for the moments that matter. By retiring early, you give yourself the flexibility to say yes to invitations, travel spontaneously, and immerse yourself in the lives of loved ones. Take Margaret, for instance, a retired school principal who decided to trade her desk for a suitcase. She and her husband spent 2 years traveling across Europe, exploring historic cities, tasting local cuisines, and meeting fascinating people along the way. When asked about her decision to retire early, Margaret said, "I realized I didn't want to wait until my body couldn't handle long flights or hikes anymore. Now, I have stories and photos I'll treasure forever." But creating memories isn't just about big adventures. It's also about cherishing everyday moments. Picture yourself sitting on the porch with a cup of tea, watching the sunset, or hosting Sunday dinners where your entire family gathers around the table. These seemingly ordinary experiences become extraordinary when you have the time to fully appreciate them. Now that we've covered health, time, financial independence, rediscovering purpose, and creating memories, let's talk about how to prepare for this exciting chapter. While retiring early sounds appealing, it does require careful thought and planning. In the next section, we'll discuss practical steps you can take to ensure a smooth transition from budgeting and healthcare considerations to building a fulfilling post-retirement routine. Stick around, we're almost there. All right, let's keep going because this is where the rubber meets the road. So far, we've talked about why retiring early can be such a transformative decision, improving your health, reclaiming your time, achieving financial independence, rediscovering purpose, and creating unforgettable memories. But here's the thing, making the leap into retirement requires preparation. It's not just about dreaming big. It's about setting yourself up for success so you can fully enjoy this next chapter of your life. Let's start with the foundation of any successful retirement plan: finances. I know money isn't the most exciting topic, but it's absolutely essential to address upfront. The last thing you want is to retire early only to find yourself stressed about bills or worried about running out of savings. That's why creating a solid financial strategy is key. The first step is taking stock of your current situation. How much do you have saved? What sources of income will you have in retirement, Social Security, pensions, investments, rental properties? Write it all down so you have a clear picture of what you're working with. Then, estimate your monthly expenses. Be honest with yourself. Will you need less money without commuting costs and work-related expenses? Or will travel plans and hobbies increase your spending? Once you've got a handle on your numbers, consider consulting with a financial advisor. They can help you create a withdrawal plan that ensures your savings last as long as you need them to. One popular rule of thumb is the 4% rule, which suggests withdrawing no more than 4% of your retirement savings each year to make it stretch over several decades. While this isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, it's a good starting point for thinking about sustainable spending. Another important aspect of financial planning is healthcare. Medical expenses tend to rise as we age, so it's crucial to factor them into your budget. If you're retiring before Medicare eligibility at age 65, research private insurance options or COBRA coverage through your former employer. Also, consider setting aside an emergency fund specifically for unexpected medical costs. It's better to be safe than sorry. Now, let's talk about housing. Where you live can significantly impact both your quality of life and your finances in retirement. Some retirees choose to downsize, selling their larger family homes and moving into smaller, more manageable spaces. This not only reduces maintenance responsibilities, but can also free up equity to supplement your retirement income. Others prefer relocating to areas with lower costs of living or warmer climates, allowing them to stretch their dollars further while enjoying a fresh start. If you're not ready to sell your home, that's okay too. Many retirees opt to age in place, staying in the comfort of familiar surroundings. Just be sure to assess whether your current space meets your needs as you grow older. For example, could installing grab bars in the bathroom or widening doorways make your home safer and more accessible? Small upgrades like these can go a long way in ensuring your independence. Beyond finances and housing, let's focus on building a fulfilling daily routine. One of the biggest adjustments in retirement is losing the structure that comes with a traditional job. Without meetings, deadlines, or commutes to anchor your day, it's easy to feel aimless or worse, overwhelmed by too much unstructured time. To avoid this, think about how you'd like to spend your days. Start by identifying activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Do you love being outdoors? Plan regular walks, hikes, or gardening sessions. Are you passionate about learning? Sign up for classes, join book clubs, or explore online courses. Want to give back? Volunteer at local organizations or mentor younger generations. Having a mix of interests keeps your days varied and engaging. It's also helpful to establish a loose schedule. You don't need to stick to a rigid timetable, but having some structure can provide a sense of normalcy. For example, you might dedicate mornings to exercise and personal development, afternoons to socializing or hobbies, and evenings to relaxation. Experiment until you find a rhythm that works for you, and remember, flexibility is key. If something isn't working, adjust accordingly. Speaking of socializing, maintaining strong relationships is another critical component of a happy retirement. Work often provides built-in opportunities to connect with others, but once you retire, those interactions may dwindle unless you actively seek them out. Make a conscious effort to nurture existing friendships and build new ones. Join clubs, attend community events, or participate in group activities centered around your interests. Staying socially engaged not only combats loneliness, but also enriches your life with shared experiences and support. Here's a tip: don't underestimate the power of technology to keep you connected. Video calls, social media, and messaging apps allow you to stay in touch with loved ones who live far away. If you're tech-savvy, consider joining online communities related to your hobbies or joining virtual discussion groups. These platforms offer endless opportunities to meet like-minded people and expand your network, even from the comfort of your home. Now, let's circle back to purpose. As we discussed earlier, finding meaning in retirement is vital for long-term happiness. One way to do this is by setting goals both short-term and long-term. Maybe you want to write a book, learn a new language, or visit every national park in your state. Whatever it is, having objectives gives you direction and motivation. Break larger goals into smaller, actionable steps so they feel achievable rather than overwhelming. And don't forget to celebrate your progress along the way. Did you finish reading a challenging novel? Treat yourself to dinner at your favorite restaurant. Did you complete a woodworking project? Show it off proudly to friends and family. Acknowledging your accomplishments reinforces a sense of pride and encourages you to keep pursuing your passions. Finally, let's talk about mindset. Transitioning into retirement can bring up a range of emotions, from excitement and relief to uncertainty and even grief for leaving behind a familiar routine. It's completely normal to experience a mix of feelings during this time. The key is to approach the transition with curiosity and openness. One powerful tool for navigating change is gratitude. As you adjust to your new lifestyle, take time each day to reflect on what you're thankful for. Maybe it's the extra hours you now have to spend with loved ones, the freedom to sleep in, or the ability to finally tackle projects you've been putting off. Focusing on the positives helps shift your perspective and reminds you of all the wonderful possibilities ahead. Another mindset shift is embracing imperfection. Not every day in retirement will be perfect, and that's okay. There will be ups and downs, moments of boredom, and times when you question your choices. Instead of striving for perfection, aim for progress. Celebrate the fact that you're living authentically and carving out a life that aligns with your values. Now that we've covered practical steps for preparing financially, emotionally, and socially for retirement, let's wrap things up with some final thoughts. In the next section, we'll reflect on the bigger picture of what retirement truly means: an opportunity to design a life filled with joy, connection, and purpose. Stick around, we're saving the best for last. All right, we're in the home stretch now. So far, we've covered so much ground: why retiring early can be such a rewarding decision, how to prepare financially and emotionally for this transition, and how to build a fulfilling daily routine that keeps you engaged and connected. Now, let's take a step back and reflect on the bigger picture. What does retirement really mean? And how can you embrace it as an opportunity to design a life filled with joy, connection, and purpose? Let's start with a simple truth. Retirement isn't an ending, it's a beginning. For decades, many of us have structured our lives around work, often putting dreams and personal desires on hold because there will be time for that later. Well, guess what? Later is now. Retirement gives you the chance to rewrite your story, to focus on what truly matters to you, rather than what society or others expect of you. Think about it this way: every day in retirement is like a blank canvas waiting for your brushstrokes. How do you want to fill it? Do you envision quiet mornings spent sipping coffee while watching the sunrise? Adventures exploring new places or revisiting old favorites? Time spent teaching, mentoring, or volunteering to leave a legacy? The possibilities are endless and entirely yours to shape. But here's the beautiful part: there's no right or wrong way to retire. Some people thrive on structure, filling their days with classes, volunteer work, and travel plans. Others prefer a slower pace, savoring unstructured hours to read, garden, or simply sit and reflect. Whatever path feels authentic to you is the right one. There's no pressure to conform to someone else's idea of what retirement should look like. Now, let me share another story to inspire you. Meet Helen, a retired librarian who decided to turn her lifelong love of books into something extraordinary. After leaving her job, she started a free community library in her front yard, stocking it with donated novels, cookbooks, and children's stories. Not only did this project bring neighbors together, but it also reignited Helen's passion for storytelling and education. When asked about her experience, she said, "Retirement gave me permission to dream again, to think beyond what I thought was possible, and create something meaningful." Helen's story reminds us that retirement is not just about stepping away from work. It's about stepping into possibility. It's about asking yourself, what would I do if I weren't afraid? And then finding the courage to act on those answers. Whether it's starting a business, traveling the world, or simply spending more time with loved ones, retirement invites you to live boldly and authentically. Of course, embracing this new chapter requires a shift in mindset. For years, many of us have measured success by external markers: titles, salaries, promotions. But in retirement, true fulfillment comes from within. It's about aligning your actions with your values, cultivating gratitude for the present moment, and cherishing the relationships that sustain you. One of the most profound lessons of retirement is learning to let go not just of work, but of the need to control everything. Life is unpredictable, and trying to micromanage every detail can rob you of the joy of spontaneity. Instead, focus on what you can control: your attitude, your choices, and your willingness to adapt. As you navigate this next phase, remind yourself that flexibility is a superpower. If plan A doesn't work out, there's always plan B or C or D. And don't underestimate the power of saying yes to new experiences. Maybe you've never tried painting, dancing, or kayaking, but why not give it a shot? Retirement is the perfect time to experiment, take risks, and discover hidden talents you didn't know you had. Even if something doesn't turn out exactly as planned, the process itself can be incredibly rewarding. Now, let's talk about legacy. One of the most fulfilling aspects of retirement is the opportunity to leave a mark on the world, not necessarily in grand, sweeping ways, but in small, meaningful gestures. Whether it's sharing wisdom with younger generations, supporting causes you care about, or simply being present for loved ones, your contributions ripple outward in ways you might not immediately see. Consider writing letters to your grandchildren, capturing family stories, or documenting advice you'd like to pass down. These acts of reflection not only preserve your legacy, but also deepen your connections with those who matter most. Legacy isn't just about what you leave behind, it's about how you touch lives along the way. Finally, let's end with a little encouragement. Retiring early is a bold move, and it takes courage to step away from the familiar and embrace the unknown. But trust me, you deserve this. You've worked hard, sacrificed, and given so much of yourself to others over the years. Now it's time to prioritize you. Remember, retirement isn't about checking boxes or achieving perfection. It's about living fully, loving deeply, and finding joy in the everyday moments. Some days will be extraordinary, others will be ordinary, and that's okay. Both are part of the tape One Stride of Life. So, as you embark on this journey, give yourself grace. Celebrate the wins, learn from the challenges, and trust that you're exactly where you're meant to be. You have so much to offer the world, and so much to enjoy in return. Before we wrap things up, I want to leave you with this thought. Retirement is your time to shine. It's your chance to live life on your own terms, to chase dreams you've put off for too long, and to revel in the beauty of simply being. Don't wait for the perfect moment, it's already here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video has inspired you to rethink what's possible in retirement and take steps toward creating a life that lights you up inside. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might benefit. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on living your best life at any age. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember, the best is yet to come.